Hello and welcome to episode 2 of The Confidence Switch: How to Change Careers and Still Love Your Life. I'm your host, Shamika Williams, and today I'm going to be talking about mindset. Now, this was something that I chose to tackle at the very beginning of the book because I realized it was the most important thing that happened to me to help me with this transition, but I also realized it was the one area that actually held me back. I recently heard this from Myron Golden, and I want to share it with you. So take a moment and listen.
You guys keep saying mindset, 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 mindset. And I don't think a lot of people understand this concept. We don't see with our eyes. We see with our mind. And our eyes are just one of the tools our mind uses to see. So if our mind is blind, it doesn't matter what our eyes can see. But if our mind can see, it doesn't matter if our eyes are blind. And so what happens is, if your mind is blind to the possibility, then your eyes will be blind to the opportunity.
Wow.
One of the most pivotal things he said in this power-packed minute was that we see with our minds, not with our eyes. And we don't realize that that's often the case. Our eyes are a part of our five senses. Our sight is, anyways. It takes in information where it's imprinted in our minds. And when different opportunities or situations come about, what we're really operating from is our mindset. You know, what happened to us in the past, what our past experiences were, wins, losses, what we were taught, our environment. All of those things play a big part in how we respond to situations and opportunities. And one of the things that happened as I was going through the process of writing this book is that I started recalling all of these different opportunities that I had earlier on in my life, like right around the college time and after. And these were opportunities that could have taken my life in a very different direction. But because things weren't worked out exactly how I felt like they needed to be worked out, I let those opportunities pass by. Because at that time, my mindset said, you need to have it all figured out first. You can't take a step if you don't see the step. And so there were several opportunities that I personally missed out on. And a lot of that came with being someone who was a little conservative in terms of how I chose to take action and what I chose to take action on. But also, what came to be the case is I realized that I was a person that was more comfortable with pursuing B type goals. And so, what are B type goals, Shamika? First of all, this is something that I learned from Bob Proctor, actually through my coach. He taught this to us, but A type goals are goals that you've already accomplished. So this is something you've done before. You know you can do it. It's easy peasy, right? B goals are goals that you think you can achieve. So you haven't done it, but they don't seem unreasonable. And then C type goals are those wild, hairy, audacious goals that, hey, you've never done this before. You really, really want it, but boy, it's going to take a lot of work and effort. It's a big stretch if you're thinking about what a C type goal would be, for example, it might be going to the Olympics for some people, getting drafted into the NBA, um, being a millionaire, right? All of these different types of things would be considered C-type goals for a lot of individuals because it's not something that's quote unquote easily attainable. But B-type goals, they're not impossible. And so for me, I had goals and I could pass tests. I could study real hard, pass, all the tests for all these different certifications. Those things made me feel like I was smart. But that was as far as I was willing to push myself. There were goals that I had that were more out there. And I would kind of try, but I didn't give my all because, of course, I wanted to stay within my comfort zone. And I never achieved any of those goals. And so for me, it was a wake up call when my coach, asked us the probing questions that helped me have this revelation. I had never truly put my all into pursuing a C type goal. I'd only pursued B type goals and achieved them, but I never stuck with a C type goal until the very end. And that was a pivotal moment for me. And it helped me realize how much I allowed my way of thinking about certain things to hold me back. And with that, I had to make some decisions. Like, was I going to allow myself to be limited by my limited mindset for the rest of my life? And so the reason why I wanted to start off with mindset is because we often think that that the problem is really something else. We think the problem oftentimes is something else. It's someone else. Somebody's holding us back. No, the problem is us. We are the problem. We are the common denominator in all of our issues. And so once I was willing to accept that, once I was willing to submit to some help, and I was willing to let go and release my idea of what it would take, because what did I know? I hadn't really succeeded to that level. So I really didn't know what it would take, but I thought I did. What I knew was what I was willing to do to get there, which wasn't much. So I decided to make mindset a primary focus because I believe that once we get over that particular hurdle, everything else is much easier. The battle is in the mind. The battle is within. The enemy is in me. And so that's really the motivation behind that particular section of the book. I love talking about mindset. It's really something that I'm very passionate about now because of the way that my life has changed since I now have a different level of awareness. So you will hear me talk about it quite a bit on my social media platforms and all of the other content that I create and release, because it's something that's extremely important to me, and I want to be able to continue to share my perspectives as well as my journey and my evolution with others, because I believe that it's going to be very helpful. So that's the end of episode 2. Just want to give you a quick overview and highlight of that particular section of the book. I look forward to checking in with you all again next week. I hope you have a marvelous day and talk to you guys again soon. Peace.